I wasn't even surprised when I heard this. And that's part of the problem. Watch this.
Can't stand teachers. You know why? Because they have a ceiling. They have a limit. That's all they ever gonna be.
Man.
I teach my kids, sky's the limit.
People are saying, you know, he's just a comedian, it's just a joke. It feels like everybody's against teachers these days. Media personalities, comment sections, politicians, people who haven't stepped foot in a K-12 classroom in decades. Because what Tracy Morgan said, it shows something that a lot of people genuinely believe, that teachers are somehow less than, that because we don't make millions of dollars, that our work doesn't have any value, that because we chose service over status, that somehow our work has a ceiling. And that's the part that bothers me, because every comedian, athlete, entrepreneur can trace their story back to a teacher that inspired them. Now, do I think that Tracy was speaking from a place of pure malice for teachers? No. Honestly, it sounded like somebody speaking from hurt. He was defending what I think is this younger version of himself. You know, the kid that was difficult, class clown. You know, if we're being fair, yes, there are teachers who have said things to students that should have never been said. But the part that concerns me, and this is just something I've been thinking about, is that I think a lot of the policies that have been created for education have been shaped by adults trying to fix things that happened to them when they were children, instead of looking at what research actually says what works for students. But we're gonna save that conversation for another video. But Tracy, if you felt misunderstood in school, have you ever stopped to ask yourself maybe why those teachers said those things? And I don't want to make it sound like I'm like victim blaming at all. I want you to think about maybe what that teacher was having to endure, because a lot of times students will hear pieces of things, and I've seen it myself where a student will say, I said things, I'm like, I did not say that. You know, and think about maybe how much work your teacher was juggling at the time. You may have been doing something and they were just like, hey, chill out, calm down. And then in your head, were you saying, man, that chick told me to shut up and I'm never gonna amount to anything, you know, like but I know perception is 90% reality, but I just think this came from a place of hurt, because from where I'm sitting, this comment sounded less like comedy and more about a culture that's gotten way too comfortable disrespecting teachers. And that's what hurts. Not because I'm shocked, because I'm not. It just hurts because someone with that much access and visibility, and dare I say influence, can be so dismissive of the people shaping America's children.